And my name is Christy, as you could see in my name here. And I'm the BBA, I'm the UG coordinator for the BBIS program. So I've been teaching in the BBIS program, and I'm the most longest serving the UG coordinator for entire university. So by the time I start as a UG coordinator, you guys, I think most of you guys are not even born. You guys can see that how long. So over the many years, I have been coaching, guiding a lot of my students to their success in their career life. And I invited one of the role model today, one of our students who success and excel in their life as well career. So thousands of students that we coach them to the next level. So we are willing to welcome all of you guys to our IS family and be with us so that we all will work together. And our main goal is to make sure that all of you guys will reach to your full potential and beyond as well. All right. So let me share that PowerPoint that we create with you guys first. Okay. You guys can see my PowerPoint, right, Sudha? Okay, good, fantastic. All right. Okay. All right, fantastic. So now I would like to invite one of our role models. That's Stanley, and he's extremely special to us. It's not only because that he's working as a partner in KPMG, one of the big 4 companies, and he always come back to UST and try to share his experience with the students. He has been doing it for last many years. And most importantly, he was one of my students as well. So we are really, really grateful to have him. And he's one of the role models. I think without further delay, I would like to invite Stanley to share his experience with us. Yes, Stanley.
Thank you, Christy. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Stanley. So first of all, it's definitely and absolutely my pleasure to be invited by Percy and the team here to share a little bit about myself today. And yes, I mean, I just heard Percy mention he's he's the longest serving UG coordinator, and he actually gave me a lot of guidance and support in my undergraduate study as well. And I think definitely UST is a great place as well as a big contributor to where I am today. So I think I just owe the university so much that I definitely need to contribute whenever I can and wherever I can. So without further ado, I mean, let me just describe a little bit on a couple of things. One is, okay, Percy just introduced myself as a partner of KPMG, one of the professional service firms, but actually what do I do on a day-to-day, and how does it link to my undergraduate study in the HKUST BBA program? What's my time is like? These are the 2 things I will share a little bit more in the next couple of minutes. And of course, I also would like to share a little bit more about how do I see the future for IS graduates. A lot of people talking about digitalization technology these days, but what's the implication? What does it mean to not just your future, to be honest, but the future of the society? And how can we all make the contributions to the better future of the society overall? So that's one of the 3 things that I would like to share a bit. Okay, first of all, technology consultant. What do I do as a partner of KPMG? Very simple, one thing. My role as a technology consultant is actually helping our client to be successful in their business, in their operations with technology. My client actually ranges from business organizations that I'm sure you all know, like banks, insurance companies, retail companies, developers, etc., telecommunication company, but also a number of NGOs as well as public organizations. They all have a lot of things to do on a day-to-day, be it running their business, or serving the public or running the operations, how can they be more successful and efficient in utilizing technology? It's my job to help them to get through. Therefore, over the many years upon graduation, I've been involved in projects like building a virtual bank. I'm not sure if any of you is one of their customers. I also help some of my clients in understanding and analyzing the market around cryptocurrencies. I helped a number of IT organizations in restructuring, repurposing, to making sure they can use technology in a much better way. Be it means acquiring a new team of members, be it means building new systems, be it about investing into a technology company or even startup. There are many things I would do on a day-to-day basis. So when people will ask me, Stanley, as a technology consultant, does it mean you're doing coding all the time or you're building system all the time? I say, well, that's probably 10% or even less of my job, because a lot of these things obviously is needed to utilize technology in helping operations and business, but it's also about whether you are using these tools to structure them in the right way, shape and form, and provide them into a valuable advice to the clients. That will be, I would say, 90% of my job. And it's not just in Hong Kong as well. The demand for such roles or capabilities, if you say, in global is actually immense. Very fortunately, I have the opportunity to work here in Hong Kong, but also across Asia in different places, as well as throughout my career in a professional service firm like KPMG. So I think this is a very fruitful experience. And how did I get to this point, and also my career path? I think very critical one is my life in HKUST. It doesn't only equip me with the technical knowledge around technology, but I think this is a place where technology is really linking up with business. In my time, there are classes, there are courses around different technologies, topics, programming databases, and some of the IT management courses. But at the same time, there are many practical, very close to the society type of projects, and also have a chance to interact with different companies in understanding the real actual issue or challenges that they are facing, and how do I utilize my learning from the IS program in addressing them. And on top of it, I had a very golden opportunity with the help from the school to be offer a placement in one of the IT departments in the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, actually many years ago, where I really can utilize my skills and experience into an actual work on this. I think this is really helping me to be very ready in building up my career as a technology consultant over the last 15, 16 years. So I'm really grateful for having this opportunity. And I'm sure all of you will have the same opportunities like myself in the universities. That's a very valuable part, and it's the best place, I would say. And then let me also switch a little bit over to how do I see the future for the IS graduates. As you can imagine, there are lots of potentials just based on what I said. The day-to-day conversation I had with most of the, well, not most, but all of the CEOs, I would say, on what is their number one priority. Technology and digital is always pretty much the highest topic all the time. And where they struggle with is not about the implementation or the use of technology, but the talents. They're looking for people who are excel in both technology and the business acumen. I mean, it sounds very general, but believe it or not, it's actually very difficult to find these talents in the market, because a lot of people that were trained for are very focusing on their specific topics. There aren't many people who are really versatile in both technology and business. And I think with all of you guys being a digital native era, that's the opportunities for you. You are not the one who will say, "Oh, it's IT. I'm not sure if I am a master on it." I mean, the digital native people are actually born with technology, right? They are a lot more assertive in utilizing technology. Where you guys are the talents that will be required and needed by many, many organizations. And it's not just now, but I would say for the next 15, 20 years, because a lot of organizations are actually transforming the way that they run, the way that they operate, and they need talents in this space. So highly, highly sought. And also, I think, linking to my very first point on making an impact in the society, this is where you really have an opportunity to do so. I've been I'm very delighted and very grateful to have opportunities to make some really first thing of a kind in the society for a few times in my career so far. And I'm sure with the learning and also the opportunities via the IS program, you will have the same opportunities and the path as well. And therefore, I would really highly recommend people to really consider the HKUST BBA IS program as a development for your, not just on your professional development, your career, but also life to be a highly meaningful one. Okay, without further ado, Percy, let me pass the time back to you.
Thank you very much, Stanley. Thank you very much. And you know what, Stanley? I can recall back the time that that you were in my class, and even though it's 15 years ago, I can still imagine that. I feel like that's about last year. The same you sitting in front of my class studying, and at that time I identified the hunger and then eagerness to go to the next level in your life. Now I see that, as educator, what makes me the most happy? To see our students going to successful in their career. So thank you very much for your presentation. And I'm sure that it could be a very good message to all of you guys. So I think before we go into the next speakers, I want to tell you something here. Being Hong Kong's being a financial city, and as you all can imagine, the finance is the most sought after the major, basically, right? But do you know that the IS major now, when you talk about students choosing the major, once they join to the UST as a BBA after 3 semesters of studies, the IS program is not going to be second to finance. The student's interest is very, very close to finance for IS. So now we have a quota of 100. And nowadays we have a program-based admission come directly to our program, almost half. And then of course, some of the associate degree students also joining. So basically the quota the students will have during the major selection exercise after 3 semesters could be even lower than program-based admission quota. Right? So if you guys choose IS as directly as program-based admission, definitely you don't have to compete with others. So this is what I'm going to tell you. You can talk to any students in the business school and tell them that what are the most challenging, most difficult to get into the major. IS definitely is one of them. Why is it? They all understand, right? Stanley says, they understand the potential in the future, for sure. All right. So it's time for me to introduce our next speaker. That is the Sebastian. The Sebastian is one of our current students, year 4 student as well, and he has an additional major in marketing, first major in IS. But at the same time, he has a minor in psychology and behavioral science as well. Okay, so he has done a lot of other things. I don't want to wait too much time. So without further delay, I would like to invite, we call him DJ. We call him DJ. Sebastian, it's time for you.
Okay,
DJ, you need to unmute yourself.
Okay, so let me first share my screen.
Sorry, Sebastian.
Hi.
Yeah, sorry. I think I made a mistake. Sorry about it. So I think it is Sebastian, right? Yes, sorry. Yes. Sorry about it. It's going to be Sebastian. Sorry about it. Sorry.
Okay, thank you, Percy. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sebastian, and I'm a year 4 student now, majoring in IS, and I'll be talking about my journey and experience in the IS major. So before we begin, let me briefly introduce myself. I'm born and raised in Hong Kong, and I'll be graduating in 2022 with majors Information Systems and Marketing and a minor in Psychological and Behavioral Science. When I'm not in school, I like to play music, engage in sports like badminton, and I also have interest in filming and video editing. Some fun facts about me would be that I participated in the business school's corporate video shooting, so you can actually find me in the corporate video on YouTube. I was also interviewed by a popular Hong Kong YouTube channel called Chill Up, and the video was about fun facts of UST. Go check it out when you have your own time. So I got into HKUST by school-based admission, where I didn't have a major initially. I graduated with an IB diploma in 2018 and got admitted into UST through local non-JUPAS. After completing 1 year of study, I changed my program from undeclared BBA to Information Systems through the major selection exercise. So you may ask, among all options, among finance, among other majors, why did I choose IS? The first thing I see is the career prospect of the IS major. As IS is getting more and more prevalent in the modern business industry, every company's data department is expanding, and it is definitely a trend for the future, and the career choice will only expand in diversity. The second reason is that I gained interest in IS after taking the IS Foundation course. The general impression of studying in business is soft skills. However, IS consists of both hard and soft skills, like coding and presentation training, where I believe that it will give me some advantage in the job market. This also brings to another reason of me choosing IS, which is the flexible curriculum. There are a wide range of courses to choose from to satisfy program requirements, and we also have the ability to choose to opt into options, which personally I've opted into the business analytic option. IS also has abundant opportunities where students are able to experience and learn from different topics through lab sessions and group projects, where I really like as these can simulate real-life situations in businesses. The teaching team is also very experienced, and HKUST IS is very competitive in the job market, which gave me confidence in choosing IS as my major. So you may ask, if IS is very technical and does it suit everyone? As an IS student, I can assure that everyone could handle the content of this curriculum. I did not take any ICT or computer-related courses in my secondary school, and I have no prior programming background before taking the major. I just learn as I go, and I think IS suits students with and without prior knowledge. So this is my journey in the IS major so far. After taking the introduction IS course in year 1, courses I've taken to fulfill the required courses include Information Systems Analysis and Design, Database Design, and Programming in Python. I have also chosen some interesting courses for my electives, such as Data Visualization, Telecommunications and Computer Networking Management, which is taught by Percy, and FinTech and some Big Data technologies. In year 3, I've decided to also opt into the option of Business Analytics, which completes my IS program requirements. I've also taken an additional major in marketing and minor in psychology. IS has actually given me knowledge and skills that I can apply to other courses. In marketing, leveraging big data technologies to formulate strategies and track consumer behavior is a big future trend, while market research results must be visualized before turning into insights and business intelligence. These are all topics that I could use knowledge I learned from IS to form synergies in knowledge to even further make myself more competitive in the job market. In my psychology minor, big data could actually help identify patterns in psychological illnesses by deep learning, as some subtle symptoms are not identifiable by humans but will be recognized by humans. Hence, I would like to express that IS is very prevalent and its importance is continuously growing in the modern business world. And IS is actually interrelated with other business fields such as marketing and even non-business fields like psychology. Now moving on to the non-academic side, let me briefly talk about my most recent internship. In the past summer, I was a data analyst at Ernst & Young, EY in short. For people who don't know, EY is a multinational company which is regarded as one of the big four accounting firms. During my internship, I have handled financial and non-financial data for standard audit procedures, as well as formulating data analytical solutions for clients. What I gained in the internship could be concluded with experience, exposure, and friendship. Experience as in having business application on my knowledge learned in school, exposure as in having a wider vision on the business world and the data analytical field, and friendship as in the connections and friends that I met in the workplace. I've also participated in a project called Big Data for Business Challenge, B4B for short. The B4B challenge plays a role in developing a healthy and sustainable ecosystem for big data innovation in Hong Kong. Our team initiated a project involving deep learning to find patterns that aid diagnosis in Chinese medicines. We got in the finals of the competition, and we attended the Energizer Week in January 2019 at Shanghai. As most of you may know, Shanghai is one of, if not the biggest big data hub in the world. During the Energizer Week, I've witnessed it in person that some cutting-edge technologies and application in data, in governmental and non-governmental data uses. It was a really memorable experience overall. Apart from external projects, some curriculum-based projects was also very fruitful. For example, in the course ISM 3260, we had to create a working database for a business case with the programming language BBA and the query language SQL. My group spent more than 30 hours in the computer lab just to work on the coding, meeting functional requirements, and designing the UI of the database. The project was very demanding but rewarding as well. When we actually completed the whole database, and because we constructed the whole information system on our own, we felt like we actually done something instead of just blowing water, like 吹水 in Chinese. So lastly, moving on to my extracurricular activities, I was part of HKUST BEng last year, which is a startup-like organization in HKUST that promotes cultural diversity by facilitating cultural exchange events. I was also a peer mentor where I helped tens of freshmen to adapt into university life. I was also an executive committee member of Sports Association, HKUSTSU, and the Students Badminton Society, HKUSTSU, in Year 2 and Year 3 respectively. I also represented the department and the school by participating in the ambassador programs, which gave me a lot of different experiences and made my university more complete and fruitful. So this is the end of my presentation. If you want to know more about me, you can connect with me in LinkedIn with this QR code. So I'll hand back the time to Percy now.
Thank you very much, Sebastian. You can stop sharing your file. Yeah, fantastic. Yes, very good. And I'm sorry about the confusion here. So I'm sorry about that. All right. So he's someone that always, he was in my class. He was one of my students. I could see him like in his future. He's always going for the knowledge, and I'm sure that he's going to success his life pretty soon. All right, so now it's time for us to talk to our next the speaker, right? Our next speaker is going to be, yes. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Now it's time to DJ's time, right? DJ, I'm sorry, like, confusion. He's a year 3 student and IS major, additional major in marketing and operation management. And he's a business school ambassador as well. So of course, as like all of them, DJ was one of my classes as well in the last semester. So I think almost all the IS students take at least one of my classes as well. All right, without further delay, I would like to invite DJ to share his experience with us. Thanks, DJ.
Okay. Yeah. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, DJ.
All right. So I can begin. All right. So hello everyone, and a very good afternoon to all. My name is Juan, but they call me DJ, currently a year 3 BBA and ISOM student from Malaysia. So I'll be sharing you more regarding my experiences in IS, what courses I took, and maybe some sort of tips if you want to get into IS or even excel in IS during your university time at HKUST itself. But, okay, screen up. All right, but first, let me share about how I get to my first experience with IS as a whole. I think it started back when I was in high school, because my parents, they run a retail business in the jewelry industry, and what I could observe from that is that retail businesses are going a bit on the weaker side right now due to the rise of e-commerce. And as you guys know, COVID-19 have blocked off many chances for retail business to actually operate. So with that, I could see the importance of IS and how could it translate to future career path. And therefore, I went on to IS being my first program-based ambition major when I back in UST in 2019. And I look forward to hopefully one day go back home and remember my business on my parents or even start a business on my own, because these are the skills that are very transferable, which you will learn in IS when you come to HKUST itself. Why do I see IS that, it could be the future? As a lot of them mentioned, I think from the previous speakers, that number one, there's no running away from internet, whether it's social media, e-commerce, or even data. Everything revolves around internet, and by having the skills of how to, utilize and manage all these resources, you'll be successful in your career. Next, IS can go into various multiple industries, not only just IS auditing, but also in the business analytics field, which could cover a range of industries from logistics, sales, any industry. They all require data. So that's why I feel that IS, could be the future. Lastly, even though that IS, it's been said before that you don't need much technical skills to come into IS. However, that in IS, one of the key reasons is that you are the bridge between the technical and business expertise. So you know the best of both worlds and how do you implement them, to create a much more efficient and business solution, which will hopefully be very innovative in the future. So I'll talk a bit more about what I've learned in my IS courses so far. And in my year 1, I've learned Python, standard query language, and even statistics courses. Next, in year 2 is more on the Excel BBA, where I learned how to create a system. I would say is for logistics. It's more into how to operate a store and how do you update or even track the purchases from customers. Next is a little bit more on coding on Python. And lastly is Percy course as well on networks and internet protocols. And currently I'm starting my year 3. I started on going to different options that I'm interested in. Firstly, in the option of IS auditing. And second is the option of data mining, which I'm currently learning data mining for business analytics, where I'm learning how to visualize data and also how to clean data, hopefully, and how to use that to transform into meaningful insights. So the reason why I chose the arrows to be continuous, as you can see from the PowerPoint slides, is that I believe that in IS, everything's a continuous learning process. So do remember that when you study IS, try to learn more on the skills and how to apply them, because it'll be very useful in your future years to come, because all these courses, their knowledge are very well interrelated. So having prior knowledge back and you remember them could actually assist you very far into the future itself. So in the IS department in USD, there are definitely many opportunities that we provide to our students. Firstly is, as I mentioned, internship opportunities. You can also search for summer internships during your year in USD. However, in IS, they also serve 1-year placement programs. I would say it's maybe after your year 3, where you can do 1-year internship in a corporation under the IS department, which they will send you resources through email, so you can apply for them. Next is the HKUST student group. It's a student group from the IS department, which provide opportunities in teaching students in the IT security and auditing field. And they have annual workshops such as on the Certified Information Officer Auditor exam, which is very useful. And I look to take it soon because I'm preparing for the CISA exam probably next year. Lastly, I feel that this is one of the most useful resources that I got from the BBA program is the coffee chat. I would say that from this chat itself, you can listen and mingle with top performing IS students and also with Percy to learn more about academic planning, internships, and how do you going to plan your career in the future, which I will talk a bit more in my next slide. Wait, no, next slide. In IS, we also provide various awards to recognize students' efforts, not in terms of their academic achievement. A statement of 30,000 Hong Kong dollars is provided to IS students with excellent academic performance without an application process. So you'll be directly contacted by the IS department if you are selected for the interview. Next is the IS Outstanding Service Award, which is more to recognizing efforts of students to contribute to the development of IS program in and out of HKUST. And the tips to earn this award is through joining ISACA, and also just like us, to being student helper for university and also IS sharing events, etc. So if you decide to, at the end of this info session, you decide, oh, I'm gonna join IS, and you know that IS is your way to go forward. So I would say that every year 3 student, I would like to share a bit more about how do you get the most out of your program and your life at UST, so that your career could be more well defined and you will get the most out of HKUST in your university life. First is to plan very early for academics. I know in year 1, it might sound that a long way away from year 3, but trust me, it goes back very fast. And to plan for your academics, the most important thing is credits, because you can take a certain amount of courses every semester, and if you don't plan it early, you might have to overload a lot in your final years, which is not very good. So in UST, we have double majors options and also different minors. Next, I believe that even though IS, you don't need a much technical background to come to it. However, at the end of the day, I would say IS is a main revolve onto skills. So to access IS, I would say that have a mindset to learn, and also try to learn the knowledge instead of just focusing a lot on the grades itself. And lastly, to practice wherever you could, to actually apply them into real settings, whether it's through competitions, maybe it's through online, through a project, or even through your courses itself. Try to be more engaged and actually learn how to apply these knowledge when you're doing your projects with your friends. Lastly, don't be very afraid to ask questions. Yes, because the knowledge, if you come, even though that, as we mentioned, there's no technical skills to come to IS, but then usually this knowledge, they might get challenging sometimes. And don't be afraid to ask the professors on how they work, or even how they apply to real life, because most importantly, out of any program is to learn the skills and how to apply them in your future career, which is probably the most important thing. So that is a bit more about information on IS. So you can follow our kind of QR codes in this slide to know about our curriculum, our major quota, and even follow us on social media if you want to know more about our program itself. So I think that's all for my sharing. And if you guys want to contact me to know further, here's my number right there, and also my Instagram. So yeah, thank you so much, and I hope to see you all in HKUST choosing the IS program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, TJ. And we all would like to wish you to be, once you go back to your country, that you can help out. DJ, you can,
yes,
still sharing the file.
Oh,
okay, so yeah, fantastic. So once you go back, TJ, I'm sure that you'll be able to help out your parents' business, and hopefully you will be the next billionaire in your country, right? So that is something that you will be. So for the audience, I have a question for you guys. We know that the richest person in Hong Kong is Li Ka-shing, right? We all know about it, right? So Li Ka-shing became a billionaire. He's a billionaire. But to become a billionaire, it took tens of years for him. Could you please tell me the youngest billionaires in the world? Okay, the richest person in the world, and whoever become a billionaire fastest. Can any one of you guys send us a message or unmute yourself and tell me where we can find examples of billionaires? The fastest billionaire, so from the shortest period of time, become a billionaire. Can you guys just chat or unmute yourself? I'm open to the students joining today. Yes, please. Just give a name. Yes. So we have that one student says that Mark Zuckerberg, right? Okay. So what is he doing? What is he doing? Facebook. What is Facebook? Information systems. Okay. So if you look at the people who become the fastest billionaire, so who is the richest person in the world now? Right? Amazon.com, right? It's information systems. Look at mainland China. Alibaba, right? Jack Ma. He was just a teacher a few years back, right? He was just a high school teacher. He became a billionaire, right? Fast. So I'm sure that you guys are going to be the next billionaire. If you guys take the right move at this moment now, I can foresee that DJ is leading and going there. So I'm sure that one day I will be proud to say, DJ, he may not talk to me once I become a billionaire, I guess, but at least that I will be proud to say others. DJ was one of my students. At least the pressure is in my side, for sure. All right, so now we have a lot of boys share their experience with us, right? And you guys might ask, is it the IS majors only for boys? Not really. If you look at the gender diversity, 50% of our students are girls as well. So now I would like to invite Christy, one of our year 3 students, major in IS and additional major marketing. And she has joined many challenges, competitions, and she really performed extremely well. So without further delay, I would like to pass time for Christy. Thank you, Christy.
Thank you, Percy. I'll now share my screen. Okay. Okay, so hello everyone, I'm Christy C. I'm so honored.
Try to speak a little bit louder.
Okay, sure.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm so honored to be here with you all today to share about my experience in the IS department. To start off, let me introduce myself first. I was graduated from New School. I was then admitted to HKUST BBA program through the JUPAS in the same year. And in my second year, I declared information systems as my first major and then marketing as my additional major. To know more about me, I would say I'm a digital person as I'm fascinated in all kinds of digital products. And today, I've prepared 4 key questions that are asked frequently. So first, why did you choose BBAIS? Second, what have you learned so far in the program? Third, why did you choose HKUST? Last but not least, how does the IS department support you and what did you do at your school? If you also have similar questions to me, no worries, I'll be addressing your concerns. So to start off, let me tell you the reasons that why I chose IS. There are a total of 3. So one of them is the fact that there's a rising demand and digitalization where everything is driven by information and technology today. Especially under COVID, people rely more on digital platforms and IS is literally everywhere and we cannot live without it. Another reason is that learning programming language was under my consideration and it will be definitely a competitive advantage when it comes to real world. Another biggest reason is that my career goal is to become a digital product manager who manages and cooperates with people from different domains such as design, tech, and business. So overall, I think IS suits me the best as it contains a foundational system modeling and programming language, and it is not even as technical as computer science. You may ask, what have you learned so far then? I will now explain to you from a first-person perspective on what specific knowledge I have gained through different courses. Firstly, I've gained basic programming language skills, such as I learned Python to conduct data manipulation and also visualization. And for example, I know exactly how to extract some data from a website. I also learned some basic knowledge in machine learning, text mining, and artificial intelligence. So one example, do you realize if you watch several videos about, for example, toys or about cats on YouTube, YouTube will actually recommend you with more cats videos on its recommendation list. So it's actually a recommendation system where I actually learned a lesson and I know how to implement it on my own now. I also learned basic network and computing knowledge, for example, some servers and routers, etc. Other than hard skills, the IS department also equips students with soft skills. I took a course about entrepreneurship and startups, which I learned to think with a growth mindset. And last but not least, my biggest topic that I'm interested in will be user experience design, where I learned so much about writing use cases, drafting requirements, and I eventually create my own UI UX portfolio. After hearing all the learnings, you may wonder, why should I study in HKUST? Why in particularly HKUST BBA IS? I know HKUST is known for being the University of Stress and Tension, and I feel like if we have a nickname to it, there must be some truth to it. But to me, I think these are all motivation and determination that drives me to work harder, which perhaps explains why companies like hiring graduates or interns from UST. In fact, UST in particularly the IS department offers many resources and support, and of course opportunities for its students. And I found so many like-minded people here. So in the remaining time, I'll be sharing with you all what I did and explain to you on how the school supported me. I'll break down into 4 categories: internships, competitions, startups, and extracurricular activities. Sorry. So these are the internships that I have taken in the previous years. I will not go too deep into the job details. Instead, I would want to highlight how I got these internships. So UST usually offers us long winter and summer breaks for us to gain experience through working. I got job updates from different companies ranging from big firms like JP Morgan to startup, and almost twice a week from the IS department via mailbox. And the business school also offers internship programs. So there are actually many opportunities to get job experience as long as you are proactive. And the school also encourages students to join more competitions. There are competitions that I joined that are related to information systems. For instance, I joined HKUST. It is an annual hackathon in HKUST since 2014. I formed a strong team with developers like my friends from like computer science, and me also as a product master and UI UX designer, we actually build an application that convenient people when travel industry gets back to normal. So thus joining competitions is actually a good way for us to explore and know what is good for us. And other than internships and competitions, I'm also interested in startup. I was grateful to have been invited by Click, a student startup in HKUST backed by Cyberport, to join the core team as a product designer. Click is an upcoming software as a product for everyone to easily create their one-page website, and this golden opportunity has helped me to grow both personally and professionally. As for ECA, I also joined a lot of student societies, for example, some consulting club, and also some society that promotes cultural diversity. And I even co-founded a society called Deep at HKUST that promotes gender inclusiveness in our campus. So therefore, even I'm not an extremely strong academic background, I can also strive in UST. To conclude, I am very grateful that I have chosen information systems as a major because it is a good mix of both technical skills and soft skills, as I've mentioned before. And I literally apply all my knowledge that I gained from the courses I took in IS department to all kinds of events that I've joined. So yes, so you may ask, hey, Christy, I'm actually interested in BBA IS. It sounds cool, but I'm not sure if I'm suitable in getting this major. So I would want to clarify and also bring out the message as what the previous student speakers has shared. Even if you don't understand basic disciplines of programming or you don't have technology related knowledge, it's totally fine. If you're enjoy communicating with people and also negotiating with people, IS is actually perfect for you because it contains a foundation, system modeling and programming knowledge, which can be diverted into many fields as you want in the future. And I hope you all enjoyed my sharing, and feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions, no matter it's related to our experience or it's about information systems that's major. And good to have you all today. And I hope to see you all in the HKUST. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christy. Thanks a lot. And Yes, fantastic. So Christy comes up with something very important. I will tell you, a lot of our IS graduates, they start their own startups, and some of them might seem successful in their startups as well. So that's another way that they can go to the next level in their lives. So that's something. So we have around another more than 10 minutes to go. So I would like to open now to the students, their parents. I'm sure that you guys may have questions that before you guys make your most important decision in your life, the foundation to your future career, right? I'm sure that you guys may have some questions to ask, and before you make that very important decision for your future career. So I would like to open time for the students and their parents, and myself, and then of course everyone that share their experience with you guys today is more than willing to ask your questions. Please, any questions for any one of you guys, or have you guys already decided? Yes, I don't have any questions. I'm going to choose IS right away. Right, I'm sure that most of you guys think that way, but at least some of you guys may have some questions. Since we are here, we can talk directly. And best thing is to unmute yourself and say to us, or else you can send a message to us. We would be more than happy to answer your questions. Yes, please. Any questions? Come on. Okay. Okay, what do you think about double major in CS and IS? Yeah, I think that's a fundamental difference between CS and IS. So I think, let me share on the screen with you all, okay? And then I think it's good to see the difference between CS and IS. Okay, so that's a good question. Yeah, fantastic question. Thanks for asking. And okay, now, the difference between CS and IS. So basically, CS students, they are developing the tools. That means tools means when you talk about that hardware and software, they help us to design chips, and they help us to write big programs like operating systems and big computer programs. So that's what they do. So in other words, what they do is they make the computer work. They put the hardware together, they put software together, right? So computers there. So what IS students do is hardware is there, software is there, but they use the hardware and software developed by CS guys to earn money, to solve the business problems. So that is what IS do. So what IS do is we have the hardware is one side and software is one side, hardware and software together, and business in other side. So they can't understand each other. So somebody has to stay in the middle to make sure that they can communicate. And then we can, when there's a business problem is there, so then we can use the proper hardware, proper software to use the business problems to find the best solution. So that's what IS students do. So if you look at the training that we are going to give to IS students, we don't want them to be programmers that they can program thousands of lines of codes. So what we are training you guys is to understand the program, what programs can do, basically, just understanding a sense of programming, as well as what are the software available, hardware available. At the same time, we are in the business school, they understand the business better than computer science students as well. So yes, so the question that you're asking about whether that you can do both, definitely yes. So within the university, now we open up and students can have any additional major they would like to have. So that's the beauty in HKUST. Or else we have their own major can be made as well. So that means students can propose, okay, I would like to propose my own major that's not available in university. And then courses that I like from different disciplines, different areas. And then that would help me to achieve my dream of future. So that is something that definitely would be helpful. Yes, possible. All right, so any other questions, please? Okay, now there's a very good question here. So one student is asking about the maths, whether you really need mathematics. to study IS. And I would like to open up to to our students. Can any one of you guys tell whether that you need the max to study? Yes. Any one of our students, Sebastian or Christy or what? Yes.
I would say that the amount of math I've encountered in IS is similar than that I encountered in marketing.
Okay, yes, that's fair enough, right? So basically, we don't require mathematics knowledge for you to learn an IS, no mathematics knowledge. That's correctly. So that's Sebastian says. I mean, I don't want to tell, but I would like to listen from the students, those who have gone through the system, and they would know it. Yes, no need. So if you don't like mathematics, don't worry. Moment time. Okay. So you guys can choose. May one thing, right? Moment time, may one thing. You guys can choose it, right? Yeah. Pudong begonshi. Right? So I'm just learning some, just basic language skills from my students, of course. All right, guys. So any other questions, please? Any other questions, please? Feel free to ask. You might be having burning questions. It could be a student, it could be a parent, and we are here to help you guys. Any questions? All right, so if you guys do have any questions at any point of time, and I think that in our PowerPoint, we have the contact, right? So we have the contact at the end of the PowerPoint, sorry. Okay, we have, these are the contacts. So you guys can contact our department website and then get some information there. And of course, myself, Percy, you guys can reach me, and my email address, as well as my office number. But if you guys become IS majors, then of course, with all the IS majors, I share my WhatsApp number and WeChat ID. Everyone would know it. So I think nowadays, the students doesn't feel like to send email. They like to just take their mobile phone to their hand, right? Mobile phone to their hand, just send a WhatsApp message to WeChat. So I share my WhatsApp number, WeChat. So you guys, all of our students are very special to us. So we give them opportunity to interact with us the best way that they could do it. Okay, so, and of course that we have other, so we have one more chat message. Okay, now we have, if you love negotiating with the others, IS is a good choice. With the application of IS concepted by, yes, definitely. So that's a very good question here. So we give a lot of opportunities for students to practice what they learn in the classroom and work with the companies as well. So one of the important things that we would like to give it to our students is basically give them opportunity to do a one-year internship. And you can see that Stanley, he has completed the internship in HKUST, right? So that helps you to apply for jobs and getting jobs as well. So you can see that most of them has done some internships as well. So yes, if you think about internships, the BBA students are the highest number of percentage get into the internships. It could be summer, it could be winter, it could be full-time, it could be part-time, it could be 6 months, it could be 1 year. So our students are the highest number of percentage go for internship opportunities. Yes, definitely, we give them an opportunity as well. Yes, all right. If the BBA is the right choice, if I'm in graphic designing. So I would like to tell you about it's that graphic designing is a skill set that if you have the basics of information systems and software, then I think it's going to be easy to build easily. And we don't have specific courses that we are going to teach students about the graphic design per se, but I'm sure that you might be able to take some courses from computer science department you might need to take 1 or 2 courses at the same time. But at the same time, that if you're interested in graphic design, you can think about the online platforms like Coursera as well as edX. So the professors that who teach the courses are extremely, famous in the world. And you can find one of my courses available in a few courses of myself available in Coursera. And in fact, one of my courses that you can search it, elected as one of the best in the world this year. Okay, so one of the courses in Coursera. So this is how that we are not contributing only to the IELTS students. So as educators, we are contributing to everybody in the world. So that's what you can see, that I have very, very popular Coursera courses available in the Coursera. So you guys can see it, and it's very popular and it's been recognized as well. Good. Yes, any other questions, please? We have 4 minutes to go. Any other questions, please? All right, so if not, and I would like to, of course, you can see that I have given you guys our contacts. Feel free to contact us any point of time that you'd like to. And a special thanks should go to Stanley, right? Correct. And then, of course, DJ and Christy and Sebastian for sharing their experience with us. And Stanley, great to see you again. And you are a role model. And DJ, he's going to be a next billionaire. So you're going to be happy and we are going to wait for that, right? So once you start your own business, right? All right. And then, of course, Sudha helping to coordinating this activity, as well as Jessica and the team in the admission in the business school. So these young boys, young girls, if you want to be the billionaire, fastest billionaire, then the major to choose is undoubtedly IS. All right, guys, so great to have you all. And I wish you guys good luck, all the best of your upcoming exams, right? You pass exams, and whatever the major that you would like to choose, I wish that it will be successful and your dream will come true. Keep in touch. Okay, so Stanley, would you like to say final words to them? Stanley, would you like to say a few words to them? Final?
Yeah, sure. First of all, thanks, Christy, and also the HKUST invites me for sharing experience. I'm sure after you hear the sharing information about our experience in HKUST, and also how is it going to build a very strong foundation, I think, for not just your future career, but your personal life, the opportunity to make a huge impact in many different aspects of the society. That's definitely, I think, something really worth considering to be a choice for your undergraduate study. It's a serious matter, and I think you all will be impressed by all the sharing from not just myself, but the fellow schoolmates here, as well as from Percy. And I think we all look forward to seeing all of you in HKUST very soon and be on the stage at some point in the future.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Good luck and all the best for you guys. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.